today. All right, so we're going to start off with B5. B5 ended up running wild yesterday. I remember our TP based on the fib ahead. You can see the TP was right here on this zone, just at the top of the zone. Price continued pushing until they tapped into this area. So right now it looks like they are respecting the same zone here. Here they simply came slightly below. We've got an order block here. And I mentioned safe buys above 5803. That will also be above this order block here. Safe buys here, but I've got one position right now just in anticipation of that move to happen. So for now, we just want to see what happens if price breaks back above. So I had this order block. If we break back above this order block, I'm going to add one more position here. Then if price continues to push up, I'm going to add one more position here. Then I'm going to run a fib, wait for a retracement. Then I might add again because I'm just anticipating a bullish move based on the current market structure which we have. This trade or this setup will become invalid if we break below the current lows. We might create equal lows here like a W pattern. That's also possible. So that's the other view which we can anticipate here. But for now, let's see what happens from where price currently is. Then going to C5. C5, we managed to scalp it yesterday. This drop here, when we got here, somehow I started seeing a potential price actually pushing up. And I'm sure I mentioned in the group that I'm exiting C5. At that same time, we were active on C1, if I'm not mistaken. So looking at it today, let me just check the daily, see where we are going. I will be looking for a potential sell around, right, let's see, around 44.32. I'll be looking for a potential sell around 44.32. Okay, right around this area here, between, I would say between 44.32 and 44.52. Why this extra value? Because that's where the 800 EMA is, if you can see. So around this area, it will be on the daily 13 EMA. So price might still extend into 44.52 area as well. So if we do get a reaction here and a pattern, we can take a short-term sell. If we also get a reaction here and get a pattern, we can also take a short-term sell. For now, these are short-term sells as we are trading above the 13 EMA on the H1. So as you can see, this will just be a short-term trade. So let me just mark this level. I've just noticed there's a point of interest here. Okay, 44.60 is also a point of interest. So let's just wait for this one to give us a pattern, then we can execute. So C5, this is C1000. This is the trade we had yesterday. We had a sell here, took profit here, and this price just continued melting all the way. I think they've dropped about almost 200 pips from 5,900 to 5,700. That's almost a 200 pip drop. So sometimes it will be you exit a trade and it will continue pushing. As you can see, there was only a pullback only came towards the close of the day. But otherwise, from here, price melted with no pullback at all. I even waited for it here for a retest. They did not come back. They just melted. So today, most likely, price will retrace. So I might look for a short-term sell maybe around here, but seeing that there's been such a huge drop, usually I do not like trading those setups, but this level here is also a point of interest. This is on the H1. This whole zone with these small candlesticks, just a point of interest. So for now, I'll say let's rather wait and see what price will do. I do not have anything too solid on C1000 at the moment. Let's see. Oh, all right. C300s was selling from yesterday. They hit a higher time frame zone. This one I was just stalking it. I didn't get active on it. They hit a daily time frame zone. As you can see, this is a daily order block. Right on the low here, that's where they came to retest. Right on the 50 EMA as well. They came and fell below the 13 EMA, meaning that sell bias is starting to continue now. So just based on this, I would say looking for sales. That is today's open price. I'm just going to drop to H1. So this is today's open price right here. This is yesterday's lows. So price can react on either 2 points. They can either react on yesterday's lows to give a flip zone setup, or they will react on the open price, around the open price, which is also the 50 EMA, to give an ID50 for those who trade using BTMM. It's an ID50 setup, so we'll be looking for a continuation. Worst case scenario would be price coming back up, maybe to retest today's highs or actually extend them a bit before a fresh pattern is created. Then price will drop. But otherwise, for now, I've got a selling bias on C3. Okay, I'm just quickly checking P500 on my phone. Okay, so going to B5, you can see they're just bouncing off a zone. Right now we want price to come back above. I've already spoken about this. We want price to come back above this area, which is an order block for this peak formation low or for this lower low here. We've broken a structure, a minor structure here. If we break these structures again, then if we get a pullback, that will become a high probability buy for a take profit around yesterday's highs. That will be a high probability setup if it plays out that way. So let's see what's going to happen. So right now we are above this zone, and the current candle will close just now in 2 minutes or less. So I can add one position right now. So we simply trade the plan. Whatever we say we're going to do, if price does something, if price does exactly what we planned, all we have to do is execute and wait to see if it plays out or it doesn't. So we'll still wait to see if they're coming to close again above this area. And we just want to pay attention if they're going to close above these two zones as well. So that will give us a clue that they actually want to come up here. So we can scale in or wait for a potential retracement for this impulsive move. Then we can take more buys. So for now, I'd say that's my view for today on B500. Then going to B1000. I'm not sure if you guys traded it yesterday, but it had a nice pattern actually. Sweet pattern here. The low was extended. We had a baseline bounce, a double baseline bounce, confirming the buy. Then we broke an order block, so we could have bought here. Price continued to break the next structure, showing that it wants to come up. So you can see it's the same pattern we're looking for. We're looking for price to break its structure, then potentially retest. So as you can see here, we broke the first order block here, then we broke a structure. So we have that push up and a retest within the zone. So if you caught this move from here to here, it was still good pips because this is B1000. From here to here, it was still good pips. If you caught the retest, that was also good pips. If you caught again the retest of the same zone, anywhere in here, maybe this might have taken you out. But if you had caught maybe this one, targeting this level as a take profit, you still could have collected a couple of pips here. Then price decided to push down today. I noticed we've broken today's lows. So usually sometimes price will do this. As you can see, this might be the peak. This could be a potential order block. TDI might confirm with one leg outside, one leg inside the volatility bands, this being an extension of this low. So that will show a pattern which could potentially form. But until we get a rejection, that pattern I just showed you is invalid. But it's one of the patterns you actually have to look for or wait for. So on the daily, we're trading below the 13. It looks like we are bearish. And it looks like price is potentially going for the 200 EMA on the daily. So we might get less setups on B1000 in terms of buys. So for now, I do not have anything. Going to J10 was a sweet setup. It eventually broke this level, which we're waiting for. A break and a retest. You can see this retest here. If you entered a bit earlier, price took you out. But they simply came back and respected this order block. Right, came back above the 13 EMA, and this trade just played out nicely. I think I showed you guys the results yesterday in the group. Then looking at it today, it also looks like we are outside that range we were in from, I think it's from the daily. Let's see. Yes, it's from the daily chart. You can see we were in this consolidation range here. And we were saying we only want to take trades if we actually exit that range. So from this price action, what do we see? So what we see is a lower low. Okay, let me just zoom in a bit. Okay, so what we see just from this pattern is this lower low and an order block, which has been broken. This will potentially be a retest and potentially be a push up, either short term or long term. But intraday, if you're day trading, you definitely catch some trades in there if the price decides to push up. At the same time, we've got this high which has been broken, which could now act as a support. So those are 2 points of interest which we currently have. So right now the bias is bullish. Why are we bullish? Because we're trading about the 13 EMA. We've broken a structure. Yes, we might pull back. Maybe we might not have it set up today, but we'll definitely have a potential buy tomorrow. So going down to H4, you want to look for demand zones or order blocks. So which order blocks do we have here which are visible? I've got this one here, which satisfies the retracement which might happen on the daily before price decides to push up. So this could happen, but at the same time, price can still respect this zone right here, as you can see. So if we get a nice close here, this price can potentially come right into the 200 EMA there. So these are just potential moves in line with the bias which we have. So looking at the H1 though, we are still below the 13 EMA. Until we come above, we cannot buy. So that gives this trade room to actually maybe come down, which is also possible. So for now, we do not have a buy until we come above the 13 EMA. So that will give us a new impulsive move. Then we have to wait for a retracement before we engage in the buy. So this one, I'm just going to leave it on H1. Then V2501S, what did we have yesterday? Yesterday, I remember somebody asked me about V2501S, and I looked at it and I said no trade. What was my reasoning for saying no trade here? What reason did I give them? Let's see the daily. 4 hour. Okay, 4 hours choppy. As you can see, there's no direction. I simply opened the 4 hour and I couldn't find anything to use on this past price action which we've had since Sunday. I couldn't find anything to use there. So I simply told them V250S1S, no trade, no setup, because there simply wasn't anything clear to use And again, today there's nothing clear to use. From Sunday, you can see there's nothing you can use here because this is just choppiness, prices all over the place. So again, today, nothing on V2501S. Then step index. We also looked at it yesterday, and I remember telling them that I've got a sell bias. So it's just basically this rejection which I saw. Price has been moving up for the longest of time. So I just assume that after a long move, price has to retrace. It has to rebalance itself. If it wants to continue up into this range, we need that retracement. So the question now is, where are we going to retrace to? We might potentially retrace to the 13 EMA. We might potentially retrace to, so you run a fib, since this is an uptrend, we run a fib to the top side. So if we retrace, we might retrace to the 38.2, which is also in line with the 13 EMA. So for those who are selling, this is a target if you are selling. So if we since we've got a sell bias, basically, we're saying we can potentially target this price area, which is around 82.35. So if we drop down to H1, 82.35 is around the 200 EMA, right around this area here. Meaning if we can get a sell setup, this is a potential target. So since we've got a bearish bias, we're trading above the 13 EMA, it means the trend is bearish. Where is our entry? The highest level I see here, or the highest high, is this one at the top here. From that highest high, this is the last order block I have. And that order block has been broken and retested, as you can see. So this setup, I'll say it's a setup which is already in motion. But if price can retrace to this area, we can look for a sell. So right now, price is creating an impulsive move. Wherever it stops, it will retrace. When it retraces, we're going to jump in and we're going to target 82.35 as a take profit. So that's my view, which I have step for step index. So I think that's all from me today. I'm just struggling with blue, man. All right, so B5 is my current setup, which is running. So I'm just going to manage it accordingly. Right now, I'm in a buying bias. It looks like it will buy. Just waiting for a safe buy soon as we break 58.03. Let's see, 58.05 actually. We need a nice break and close above 58.05. Then from there, we're looking for price to get to at least 58.60. So we can just say 58.55 so that we have a 50 pip target here. So it's either price will break and just shoot, or they'll break, then retrace, then shoot. That's what I'm anticipating. If price does something else, then for now, stop loss is now below the zone. Stop loss is on 5770 based on this current market structure. If it hits stop loss, then we'll simply see what they want to do and we will trade accordingly. So that's it from me today. I don't think I've got anything else. Just checking C5. Yeah, all right. So yeah, that's it from me today. We'll catch up in the group whereby I'll be updating the current setups which we pinpointed today. If there's any other signals, I'll definitely share. If you've got your own views, feel free to share on the Telegram group and we can discuss as well. If you're watching this on YouTube, don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. You're welcome, bro. Thank you so much for joining, man. You're welcome. Thank you. Thank you. Have a good day. Good trading.